Making that 2-on-1 grip, off balancing them, doing all the right things to start. 2-on-1, bridge, drag across. Again, making that collar connection. You start to drag that arm free from here. And again, we don't need to make an underhook. We can use our free hand to frame against their bicep, push away from their bodies, facilitate getting our knee in from this position. And when we do this, again, we always want to start off balancing the person to start. But the person can be looking to posture up. They can be starting to post that hand on the mat and start looking to push into us. And anytime this happens, and I don't want them to get all the way up. So how do I slow them down? If this grip alone wasn't cutting it and they're rotating me to my back, I got to get my leg involved. And when I get my leg involved from this position, I don't want to lay here and just let them rotate me to my back with my leg over their head, right? I start to bring this over, and again, I want to rotate my hips and shoulders back in that direction and use my bottom leg to extend this arm. I'm just extending enough so I can put my top of my foot in so my toes are flexing up from this position. Now, I no longer need to control his collar with my hand because my leg is doing that. That hand comes off. I'm going to use the fat of my hand inside of their elbow. I'm going to push in the bony process, and as I push their elbow down, I'm going to rotate to the mat, turn my shoulders. As soon as I see the person rotating to the mat, they're looking to change the angle of their shoulder because they want to protect their elbow. I'm pushing this direction. As soon as I see that happening, I'm going to drive their arm all the way to the mat. I'm not going to push their arm out in front of me, but as I drive their arm to the mat, I'm going to take my foot out. And as soon as the foot comes out from here, my free hand is going to look to start making connection. And I'm just making connection at their top side shoulder. My hand is still on their elbow, making connection at the top side shoulder. I hip escape out just enough that my hand can come off their elbow and start looking to grab their lat. And when I do this, and I'm not going to pull them necessarily. I'm going to pull and hip escape enough that I can start pulling their shoulders and back into that gap. And the more I can do that, the more I can hip escape, and the more I can not only trap their arm, but get them on the edge of their body so my chest and shoulders are facing their back and their shoulders so I can connect from that position. So when you make that 2-on-1 grip and you drag them across, and you go to the collar and they start to posture up and get that arm across the body, right to their bicep, push, turn to your side, they start to posture up. They're using that arm that's extended away from their body. Again, right away from here, bring the leg over. And as soon as the leg comes over, I can pull the arm away because both my legs should be active here. Not only am I turning my hips, but I'm pushing with my leg to facilitate making that top hook. Really simple. Look, my legs are not away from my body, so this doesn't require a ton of flexibility. Nothing crazy about this. Free hand corresponds with my top leg, pushes into their elbow. Again, the more I push down and I rotate my body, the more I'm going to get a reaction out of the person. They don't want their arm to get hurt. The more they push down, and as soon as I see that shoulder going to the mat, I take my leg out. My hand that's free, the one that's not on their elbow, is grabbing their collar. And again, I'm going to hip escape, but I really want to make sure that this person's arm is compromised. The more it's pushed down like this and their elbow is bent, the easier it'll be to be able to hip escape away and pull them towards me. So I really want to make sure that that elbow is down so I can push and grab their lat and start pulling them towards me to then transition into the back position.